Welcome to Spaghetti on the Wall. I'm your host, Armando Leduc. We're here to explore the realms of business, marketing, and life. Ready to make ideas stick and grow them into something great? Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Managing Partners Podcast, where law firm leaders learn to think bigger. I'm Kevin Daisy. Let's jump in.
Hi, I'm Brian Ajoles, and you're listening to the Spaghetti on the Wall and Managing Partners podcast. We are live at the NTL Summit in Miami, and I'm joined by Jeremy Babener here today. Thank you so much for joining us, Jeremy. And where are you based, Jeremy?
I'm out of Portland, Oregon, but I advise across the country.
Very cool. Love Portland, Oregon.
I'm a big fan.
I'm
from there. Always meant to go back. Just went to school elsewhere.
Did you really? Well, are you a big hiker?
I stick in the city more.
Okay. No, because the reason I bring it up is I spent some time over there and just went to Silver Falls State Park, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the most beautiful places like I've ever seen. Just like the way the light was hitting at the waterfalls, it was like straight out of a storybook. So.
Yeah, we have quick access to the gorge and Mount Hood. We got the ocean, so we're pretty well set.
Amazing. And tell us, the viewers, a little bit about what you do, Jeremy.
Sure. So I'm a tax lawyer. I advise plaintiffs and plaintiff firms across the country at settlement. So settlement language, the arrangements involved. And then I work with the financial institutions to either vet or create new arrangements, whether it's structured settlements, structured fees, trusts, qualified settlement funds, and the like.
Very nice. And I'm not too familiar with that area of the law. Like, would you be able to maybe put it in like layman's terms for me?
Yeah, sure. So if the trial lawyer's job is to, get the most for their client, our job is to help the client keep as much of it as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be reduced by liens, taxes. You want to make sure they keep their government benefits, and there's a lot of subsidies available as well.
Yeah. So what's like the process like in determining like what would be like the next best move for them?
Yeah, sure. So it entirely depends on the case, very case by case basis. So the first thing we'll do when we get in is to really look at the complaint or look at the demand, figure out what the claims are for, what types of damages, and also what kind of expenses are going to be involved, because sometimes you can deduct your legal fees, but usually you can't, since 2018 and the big beautiful bill took that away.
Yeah.
So different problems, pop up, and now we're trying to strategize how do we help the plaintiff keep more. So if it's a physical injury case, that's usually tax-free, but we want to make sure that they're going to be able to deduct their medical expenses in the future.
Yes.
If it's a defamation or an emotional distress case, then that's going to be taxable. So we're looking for ways that we could treat it as tax-free. Maybe they're going to have therapy or other medical expenses. And then we'll also look at ways to reduce the tax rate by spreading the income over time, using a trust arrangement. There's a lot of different arrangements out there. Each one solves a very specific problem.
Wow. And so like, was this always an area of the law that you thought you would be getting into, or how did you end up finding yourself in it?
Yeah, I did not think I'd be a tax lawyer. I actually meant to be a trial lawyer. I went my 1L summer of law school. I went to the Department of Justice, and I was working on evidentiary issues and planning to write a law review article, get back to law school at NYU, and they canceled our class.
Oh, wow.
The only one available was a tax policy class, and the Department of Justice had been really pushing structured settlements on plaintiffs, and I asked them why. They told me it was for tax reasons, but didn't really have a good handle on them. So when I got into my tax policy class, I wrote an article on that. I started interviewing trial lawyers and financial advisors. And before I finished writing the article, they started calling me, asking for tax advice on their settlement agreements. And it just kind of ran from there.
Ran from there ever since. Wow. It's always fascinating to hear about how people sometimes just fall into what they do like that.
Very much. Yeah. No idea this was going to happen.
And so while you're here at the summit, what are you hoping to get out of it? What would a win look like for you here?
It's mostly about education. So like I write an article in Forbes, or a column in Forbes, and I present a lot. It's mostly about teaching trial lawyers how to issue spot.
Yes.
So that they know, they don't need to become trial lawyers. It's about being able to recognize when an issue exists and that they need to call someone, myself, someone else, CPA, to solve it.
Yes.
So that's kind of the big one. The other is we actually, it's okay to talk about here. I serve in leadership of the 3 financial advisory associations to plaintiffs. And we got calls last year because a number of plaintiffs were going on GoFundMe to raise money for their medical expenses, and then they lost their Medicaid coverage. So we designed a charity that that really solves that problem, where people can make a tax deductible donation to the charity, and the charity pays the medical expenses just like a special needs trust.
Wow.
So we've been raising money. We've raised about $750,000 so far to make that happen.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's been really.
And you said that was only in the last year?
The last year, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've got the money now. AHA wrote an article about it. We got multiple trial associations listing it as a resource. But this kind of the goal for 26 is make sure that plaintiffs and plaintiff lawyers know that it's free and it exists.
Yes. And that was going to be my next question is, what are you like most excited about coming up in 2026? But you just answered that with letting them know that this charity is available for them and how to get involved.
That's really the goal. So yeah, and if you're very active in a trial lawyer association, we already have 10 lined up, but we want all of them. The goal is we just want them to either list on their website or on social media about the charity, so the plaintiffs know it's free. This is all volunteer, all donation based. And it number one is, if your client tells you that they're about to go on GoFundMe, stop, because they can lose their Medicaid coverage. And if they use this, they can also get an extra $5,000 or $10,000.
Yeah, who doesn't want that, right? An extra 5 or 10 grand. And you had mentioned that you also write for Forbes and some other publications. Like, what do you typically find yourself writing on? I mean, it sounds like tax law, but
it's either tax law or something related to finance at settlement. So we could be talking about the ethics of funding transfers through qualified settlement funds or IOLTA accounts. A lot of IOLTA accounts don't actually allow you to earn interest for the client, and that can be even an ethics issue. We also talk a lot about other kind of financial negotiation techniques at settlements. We talk about big cases, or when the double tax came up last year under the big beautiful bill, we talked a lot about that.
So it seems like this big beautiful bill thing has been affecting like a lot of things within your industry, just sort of in general. Are there other sort of laws or things that have been going on that have also been, or is like it predominantly affected by this bill?
So this has been a long time coming, but big beautiful bill also, we know like Medicaid's been cut hugely, so that has a major impact. But your ability to deduct fees, and then also there was proposed legislation on litigation financing and a number of other types of proposals. Then you have the state by state legislation going on, like Georgia just passed legislation that makes it a lot harder to renew a case, which that's going to affect everybody in Georgia. Illinois now allows for prejudgment interest. Really important, helps put pressure on the defense, but at the same time, prejudgment interest is taxable. So allocating the settlement agreement makes a real difference. So we're kind of tracking. I serve on the Oregon Trial Lawyer Association board and on committees with AHA. So it's a lot of what's going on and kind of analyzing and informing.
Absolutely. That's inspiring to hear, like how many things that you're involved in too. I think that's really cool, and it sounds like a lot to keep up with in terms of like not only like the law, but different publications and
keeps
everything.
us busy.
So, awesome. Well, let me ask you this: is there a skill set that's not posted on your LinkedIn that maybe people would be surprised that you have?
Skill set. I'm always doing jujitsu at home.
Really?
So that's always fun.
How long have you been doing that?
A few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't tried jujitsu myself yet. I've tried other like forms of martial arts, which I wasn't involved in too long, like Muay Thai, but I've heard such great things about jujitsu. Like, what are some of the benefits that you've experienced?
It's very strategic, and there's so many different ways to go about. It's all about leverage and positioning. So that's always really fun.
Yeah, and then you can take that broader into life and things, and think of terms of where do I have leverage and position here?
Absolutely, and the community is wonderful as well.
I've heard that too. I hear like the fight community is like really tight knit and like very supportive of one another. So that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jeremy. How would the viewers at home be able to get in contact with you in case they're interested?
Sure. So first of all, the charity is plaintifffund.org. And then you can find my law firm is structuredlegal.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, thank
you.
And
thank you guys for listening and watching. I'm Brian Jules, and thank you for watching the Spaghetti on the Wall and Managing Partners podcast.
Thank you.